everybody? It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Let me start off with some quick sports first. All right, NFL football. The Seahawks beat the Patriots 23-20. Commanders beat the Giants 21-18. The Chargers beat the Panthers 26-3. The Cowboys lost to the Saints 44-19. The Browns beat the Jaguars. The Packers beat the Colts. Jets beat the Titans 24-17. Buccaneers beat the Lions 20-16. Cardinals beat the Rams 41-10. Steelers beat the Broncos 13-6. The Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25. The Raiders beat the Ravens 26-23. The Texans beat the Bears 19-13. And in Monday Night Football, the Falcons take on the Eagles at 8:15.
Did you say the Commanders beat the Giants? I just want to make sure you said that one, too.
I did say the Saints washed the Cowboys 44-19.
They did. On the road to the Super Bowl, there will be obstacles. But
somebody did tell me check on you this weekend.
Listen, we fine. It's football. On the road to the Super Bowl, there will be obstacles. It's fine.
That's why you're so grouchy this morning.
No.
No, you just was born that way.
My South Carolina Gamecocks lost this weekend and the Cowboys. It happens. It's football. It's a long season.
He's used to them losing. Morgan, good morning, Morgan.
Morning. Happy Monday, y'all. Lauren, how you feel? Fellas, y'all all right?
How your team did, Morgan?
Great.
Never mind. Go ahead. Keep going.
We lost. But, the other home team, beat the Giants. So, yeah, that was the other home team.
You can't have another home team, Morgan.
Well, I was raised to, pick a name.
A Redskin fan.
Right. I was raised
to Commanders, yes.
Yes, but I stopped with the Delulu like you did,
Nope, no such thing. I'm riding with mine to the end, baby.
But, yeah, shout out to the Ravens, Get it right next week. Okay, so I really want to talk about how a time was had at Congressional Black Caucus, but I will save the best for last. First, let's talk about how federal officials are reporting that there was yet another assassination attempt on Trump's life. So the former president was reportedly golfing at his Trump International Golf Course in Palm Beach, Florida, when shots rang out and he was rushed to safety. Here's audio from Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, who describes the situation more.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag. In the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
So the suspect, identified as 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth, was posted up in the bushes about 400 to 500 yards away from Trump. He fled the scene when he was spotted by authorities and was later taken into custody alive in neighboring Martin County. Now, local and federal officials are continuing to investigate this incident, and charges are to be determined. But it's also important to note that the neighborhood near the golf course is a reportedly high crime area. So they're trying to figure out if this was actually... Well, feds are calling it an assassination attempt, but still.
Now, was Ryan Leslie Roof a Swiftie? Okay. Is it a coincidence that Donald Trump woke up saying he hates Taylor Swift, and then hours later he was getting shot at?
That is to be determined.
No correlation? FBI, you're not investigating that?
Well, we got to talk about how bad the Secret Service is. All right? This is the second time, and the fact that they did say they seen him, they fired at him, and they missed him. He was able to run back into his truck and take off, and the Secret Service seen none of this, and they're supposed to be watching the president, the former president, and this guy was 300, 400 yards away. It's wild.
The sheriff guy at the press conference, because they asked that too, like, this is the second time. He said they did what they were supposed to do, and they acted swiftly. That's what they said in the press conference.
Yeah, and it is important to note that the detail that, former presidents have is not the same of that as current sitting presidents. So, I mean, that's to note. Well, Trump did send a fundraiser email through his fundraising site saying that he is safe and well. He will never surrender and nothing will slow him down. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, they also are relieved to know that Trump is doing okay after the shooting, shots rang out. No one was actually shot. A statement issued by the White House and Biden and Harris say that Biden and Harris have been briefed on the incident, and they will be updated as the situation develops. Now, switching gears, the rumors about Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs are distracting voters from the real issues in this year's election. That's what Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said while speaking to NBC News' Meet the Press. Let's hear more from the Transpo Sec.
Donald Trump and J.D. Vance cannot afford for this campaign to be about things like how Donald Trump eliminated the right to choose and continues to leave the door open to signing a national abortion ban. They need to get us talking about something else. The crazier, the better. And they go for something that is so outrageous that you actually can't ignore it.
So it really be your own people, right? Apparently, Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, he spoke to ABC News. He spoke to ABC this week, saying the rumors about Haitian migrants eating pets in Springfield are not true, and he urged the Trump campaign to stop and focus on the issues that actually affect American voters. Let's hear more from Governor Mike DeWine out of Ohio.
What's going on in Springfield is just fundamentally different. These people are here legally. They came to work. Look, there's a lot of garbage on the internet. And, this is a piece of garbage that was simply not true. There's no evidence of this at all.
Well, J.D. Vance essentially said he made it up this weekend, but I'm sure we'll get to that later. But I agree with Secretary Pete. That's what happens when you don't have a plan, when you have a concept of a plan. So you have to resort to just fear-mongering.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad that Vance and Trump are going to please let up on this issue anyways. They must have forgot that Ohio is a swing state with a Republican governor. But yeah, I'm not going to get too much into that. So stick around at this for the 7 o'clock hour. We'll recap VP Harris's comments from the CBC Phoenix Awards Gala, and I'll recap the White House Black Excellence Brunch. Yeah, we had a time, so yeah, stick around.
All right, and everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Let us know how your weekend was, what you did. If you need to get some things off your chest, phone lines are wide open. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa's filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. I was going to give you guys the NFL scores really fast. Seahawks beat the Patriots 23-20. Commanders beat the Giants 21-18. The Saints washed the Cowboys 44-19. Chargers beat the Panthers 26-3. Packers beat the Colts. Browns beat the Jaguars. Buccaneers beat the Lions. Jets beat the Titans. Raiders beat the Ravens. Cardinals beat the Rams 41-10. Steelers beat the Broncos 13-6. The Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25. The Texans beat the Bears 19-13. And in Monday Night Football, the Eagles take on the Falcons tonight at 8:15.
And the Commanders beat the Giants 21-18. The Giants have not won a game all season, so I feel like if you're a Giants fan, you should not talk about any other team washing any other team. You're 0-2. You got a butthole. Okay, you're a butthole.
Come at you like
you
that.
Butthole in 2 for the year.
Or come at your butthole.
We got a little butthole right now, but it's all right.
Oh man,
we're gonna get out that butthole. Hey, I know you're
not
talking, Morgan.
Gonna get bigger and bigger, to be honest with you.
What?
That's what I personally
Morgan,
think.
I know you're not talking. You 0-2 too.
Hey, not too much, okay? Anyways, that's a wrap for the Congressional Black Caucus's 53rd Annual Legislative Conference in Washington, D.C. On Friday, I attended the Black Excellence Brunch on the South Lawn of the White House. Shout out to Trell Thomas, who created the Black Excellence Brunch back in 2018, but it was the first time that it was actually held at the White House, and people came dressed in all white. It was a time ahead of the President Biden's remarks. I spoke exclusively with David Banner, and he shared his message to young voters or voters across the board. Let's hear from Banner.
If black people as a whole don't agree with what we want, the Chester Cat in Alice in Wonderland said something so powerful. If you don't know where you want to go, any road to do. So what is the agenda? What are we holding any of these candidates to? I chose to not talk about politics because I really don't think black people want to hear my opinion about politics in America as it pertains to black people. This is not a church gathering. This is not friendship. If you do not get anything out of your black vote, then you have been doomed.
I also had the opportunity to speak exclusively with Karen Civil, who urged voters to do their research. Let's hear more from Civil.
This election, more than anything, it's really important to do your own research, to see who you want to vote for, who makes sense, because right now there's so much propaganda out there, and it sucks that even people who are leading platforms are misinforming us and leading it in certain ways. So more than ever, it's important to do your own research, turn on that TV, watch these debates, see what they have to say, and make sure that you show up to the polls. It's really important to do the justice for your own community.
I agree with David Banner. The only thing I would say is that black people aren't monolithic. So, when you talk about black people coming together as a group, That's going to be hard to do just because, it's just everybody got different interests. Everybody got different issues that, they want to see addressed. And as far as what Karen Civil was saying, the do your research thing, I agree with that when it's a normal election. You know what I mean? Like when we keep treating, Donald Trump like he's a normal candidate. And that has been the problem. The problem is the media and everybody treats him like he's a normal candidate. You do your research when you have two normal candidates.
But you still got to do your research. You got to do more research with him.
What is there to research?
What do you mean?
He's been impeached twice.
Right.
Okay. He led an attempted coup in his country.
Right.
Like what more is there? What is there to research?
He
got 90. He had 90 plus criminal charges, convicted of 34. Like what is there to research?
DJ had said Trump might as well had got into it with the boy because at least he stopped shooting. Talking about Drake.
Damn.
Y'all
Jesus Christ.
He put 3 people on the Supreme Court that overturned Roe v. Wade and have made it to where we have less civil rights now than we did when I was born in 1978. I mean, I guess you should do your research. You'll find out. Like, maybe you don't know all of that stuff. I don't know.
All people know is a stimulus check that they think they got from him, which is not true.
Which his name was.
They did get it from him though. We got to stop saying that. Like yes, Congress voted for it, but he still signed it in as president.
Yes, but it's not fair.
If that's
to
the
give
case,
him all of that.
Nobody gives the Congress credit for Obamacare. They say that's Obamacare. So like presidents get the good, they get the credit for the good, they get the credit for the bad. You got to give them the credit.
All right, so VP Harris, she
check.
did not attend that actual event, the White House Black Excellence Brunch on Friday. She was in Pennsylvania for a rally, and as you mentioned earlier, the interview. President Biden, however, he did address the crowd, saying his administration, under his administration, Black unemployment, the rate has been the lowest on record, and more Black Americans have health care than ever before. Let's hear from Biden.
I've been vice president of the first Black president in American history. A president to the first Black vice president, and God willing, to the first female Black president in American history.
They have to stop letting them speak.
Y'all
be fake cheering. Y'all got to stop propping Joe Biden up there.
Still a
Let him
person.
spend his last 50 days cool. Leave him like
I was wondering if he had a MAGA hat on. Did he have a MAGA hat on?
No, he didn't have a MAGA hat on. So on Saturday, Biden also spoke at the CBC Phoenix Awards dinner, saying its members are in a battle for the soul of the nation. VP Harris, she also spoke at CBC's Phoenix Awards dinner, saying when the CBC fights, we win. Let's hear more from VP Harris's speech at the awards dinner.
While we moved and fight to move our nation forward toward a brighter future, Donald Trump and his extremist allies intend to take our nation backward. They will give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations, cut Social Security and Medicare, and end the Affordable Care Act, which the CBC fought so hard to pass. But we are not going back.
VP Harris also used her time to thank members of the Congressional Black Caucus for their efforts to register voters. And of course, her remarks come just days ahead, Tuesday's tomorrow's National Voter Registration Day. Harris will be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Tuesday to sit for an interview with the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, at WHYY. So, and of course, the NABJ has also interviewed former President Trump in Chicago last month. So she is, her campaign has released statements saying that they are going to start talking to journalists and media more.
Well, when she does that, I encourage the vice president to just really be herself and trust herself, because like that caller called earlier and said, like people are watching her so much, we know the script now.
Right.
Like we know the script, we know the story she's going to tell. You can't do that. Like, go and sit down with, different people where you can just have nice, loose, cool conversations. She's dope. She can do that.
Right.
And as you mentioned, there was a caller earlier that mentioned that there is a list of Republicans endorsing Harris. That list is getting longer. CBS News reports they have a statement from 17 former staff members and the Republican president Ronald Reagan's administration saying they're endorsing Vice President Harris for president. In the statement, they said if President Reagan was still alive, he would join in supporting the Harris-Walz ticket. But that's your front page news. You can follow me on social at Morgan Media. I have more audio from that White House Excellence Brunch. I talked to a lot of people that day, so you guys can check me out on socials at Morgan Media, MorgynMedia, and I'll be releasing those interviews over the next course of days. Follow the Black Information Network for more news coverage and download the free iHeartRadio app at BINnews.com.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
All right. Now, when we come back, Money Long will be joining us. She has a new album, Revenge, is out right now, and we're going to kick it with Money Long. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.